Alright, so I accidentally basically recorded when I had another program up, so I'm going to be talking over this one. This is my final game into Plat, so I thought I would share it with anyone that was interested. I haven't posted in a while because I recently joined a ranked 5v5 team, and they recommended that we didn't post anything, so we didn't like screw up anything, like people watching us, stuff like that. But anyways, so this doesn't have game sound because I muted all the sound because I was watching an LCS stream in the background, which is one of the things I do to kind of just like not try to freak myself out as my last game to plat. But I'm gonna jump into the actual gameplay. So I'm playing Illaoi versus I think it's an Aurelia, but we'll see in a second. Anyways, Illaoi, you start corrupting potion, just the normal Illaoi stuff. What you want to do at the very first is, so on the bottom left, or her passive is spawning the tentacles, so you'll see that I get that spawn in the bottom right there. And then I'll normally spawn one in both of the bushes as well. So I'll spawn one right there, and then I should spawn one right up here pretty soon as well. I think it ends up being around there because I accidentally spawned this one too far up. But essentially you want it kind of like in the middle of the bush there, middle of the bush there, and then you'll go back to your tower here and you'll spawn another one there if you need to, or you'll just keep one for people that decide to destroy your potions, or destroy your plants, not potions, sorry. But so the general, yeah, so I had to push it up because for some reason it wasn't spawning, which is what I described earlier. Um, I guess I'll give some general tips. So I went from bronze to gold in one season, and then from I think I placed in silver or high bronze this season to plat. And so basically, what I tell pretty much anyone, oh, I'm against a Pantheon. Oh yeah, this is the so I'm against a plat one Pantheon, and he just absolutely just dumpsters me once he gets a few good roams off. But I'll let you guys watch. Sorry. Anyways, so one of the general tips is to pick like three champions to main and one role, and then pick a fourth champion to kind of play both roles. Yeah, see, he's going up into the bush and he's knocking those because you can now see the. So in this patch, I think it's 6.17 or 6.18. They make it so you can see the plants and the bushes now. So right there, I don't know why my plant spawned there. I wasn't wanting it to because he's already been taking those out just because of what he can do. I don't know how my E missed there, but yeah, I had to flash there to get out because once you get low health, Pantheon starts to crit, and this Pantheon brought Ignite. Yeah, so this is me saying like Pantheon's pretty much a free gank. He doesn't really have escapes. But yeah, as you can see here, he deals a lot of damage, and he just got me with a cheesy Ignite and his little auto crit. So right here, I'm going to start rushing to Black Cleaver, which is just the normal build. You Black Cleaver, Mercs, and pretty much the recommended builds is essentially what you do on Illaoi. There wasn't anything terribly useful, so I grabbed Armor because Pantheon's all AD. I believe half their team's AD, I don't completely remember. I played a few games since then. You know, I've slept. um, But yeah, anyway, so you pick three champions, you grab one role, or you grab one that can kind of flex it. So like if I wanted to do like top mid, I might grab like a Fizz or an Echo. Echo would probably be who I'd grab because I'm a decent Echo. Um, Stuff like that. So like if I get mid, I'd always play Echo or maybe like LeBlanc because I used to play a lot of LeBlanc, but I wouldn't really deviate from those champs if you were really wanting to climb. Yeah, so right now, my Pantheon is missing. He's not level 6 yet, so we can't do a ton to roam. But I'm kind of wondering where he's at. I'm thinking that maybe he's going to try to cheese Rammus or something. But I believe he just ends up going back and buying because he got the first blood. And he doesn't want to lose his lead that he got there by staying, which is pretty smart. That's another thing that I kind of notice that people do. So they'll get that first blood, and then they'll end up staying for. I thought he was gonna go get CS. Then they'll end up staying, and then they'll just get killed again. Like the person will stay, catch back up in levels, and then they'll just trade the first blood, and all of a sudden you just lost your lead. They shove you into tower, which you didn't do, or whatever, because you started ignite. Gosh, yeah, I just missed a ton of seeing CS. So essentially, I'm not playing this one great either. I'm on like a 4 or 5 win streak, and I think I played like 3 games in a row or something at this point, so I'm pretty tired. But when I'm on a streak, I generally don't stop until I have to either go to bed or that's pretty much the only reason I'll stop. Like maybe like if I have to do homework, like have to. So right here, I'm beating him, so I'm getting kind of confident because I just won the trade. For some reason, so he procs one thing at Thunderlords, and I lose the trade super easily. Um, one of the things I just like I've missed almost every single E on him. I've missed so much CS. I'm playing this matchup really wrong. Uh, a good thing that you want to do is to um try to make him waste all of his mana, especially level 1. Um, I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, so level 1, his spears don't do a ton of damage, but when he gets level 2 in spears, his spear to mana ratio does enough damage. Yeah, he's just baiting my E and just waiting for me to do stuff. At this point, he could W, E, Q, and I'd probably lose. Yeah, my teammates are already starting to rage at each other, and I'm just like, yeah, I played one too many games. I had a bad feeling coming into this game. At this point, I'm just like, man, I shouldn't have even, and I'm just kind of accepting the fact that we're losing. I think I even tried to FF at one point, which I generally recommend not to ever do, especially if you're in the promos. But like, just as a rule of thumb, it's always good to play it out. I feel like there's always something you can learn. One of the things I'm currently working on is so like every 5 seconds or so you should be looking at the mini map, which I am just horrible at doing. So yeah, right here one of the things I could be doing is trying to stop his back. So I shouldn't have used all the skills that I did, but the thing I was scared of was he probably could have one-shot me. Or not one-shot me, but he probably could have killed me because his ignite was up, or very, very close to up. I also need to start timing those things. But his ignite was pretty close to up, so at that point I was just kind of leery. And then once Rammus got close enough to where he could just kind of shoot on in, is when I walked up to him. Right here, the option is go back and start building, or you could start trying to proxy a wave. I was pretty and with Pantheon's ult, if he did happen to ult in, I would probably die, and I probably couldn't clear the wave. So why would clear the wave is to get the Black Cleaver. The Phage, not the Black Cleaver, but whatever. Yeah, right now Pantheon's at the part where he can roam. He's got a kill on me, and so he's just kind of bullying everyone because no one's really scary for him right now. Yeah, so I thought I was against so if you if you see there, you can see there's an Aurelia mid. Like, hello, why is there an Aurelia mid? But whatever. But yeah, so I don't know what their team comp is, but it works pretty well. Cause like Aurelia has the gap closers to deal with TF, so yeah. So right here, I just assumed I would beat him because I have that, but once he ignites me, I just straight up lose because I don't get any healing back from my Qs. And I believe when I was actually fighting him, I didn't notice he ignited me, and I'm just like, what the heck? How did I not kill him? And I'm just like, I just don't even know. Yeah, so I'm the 2 deaths on our team right now. We're actually not doing as bad, but right now it feels like we're doing really bad to me, so I'm pretty tilted. And but yeah, so there's not a whole lot to learn from my laning phase. Like, I played my laning phase really awful, but we ended up winning the game. So like, even if you get discouraged, like sticking with it. So like right now you're like, what are you talking about? Like people playing bad or whatever, or like because my bot lane's like 2-2 or something, or 2-0 or something. But you'll just watch. But anyways, so essentially I don't have an item, and I believe Pantheon now has a full item, but he's been taking a lot of poke from my tentacles and stuff. So I'm actually doing not too bad against him in lane right now, so I feel pretty safe to farm. Yeah, so he keeps taking those tentacle hits. Illaoi just has a ridiculous ratio, and I keep missing CS for some reason. I don't know why. It's not like I'm or under practice because it's like my 4th game of the day. So yeah, so there's nothing really going on right here. I use my TP to get to lane, so I don't need to be watching anyone else. I don't know where their jungler is right now, but I don't think I realized that I don't know her. He's not scary to me, so I'm not too worried. Yeah, so Pantheon's missing, ping that. He could easily alt mid, which seems like the logical choice. So luckily this game's actually, it's been a while, so like if I say like, oh, he's probably gonna gank mid, that's not because I remember that he's ganking mid. It's just that's what I would do if I was him type thing. But yeah, so the one thing we have going for is I scale so much better than Pantheon. Like Pantheon is just like a snowball champ. He's supposed to push his team and get him in. So yeah, so this is when I thought he was going mid, and I think he just ends up going back to grab some items and walking back to lane. Um, yeah, I don't think there's anything that really happens for quite a while. Teams raging at each other, all the normal stuff that you expect to see. Yeah. So I start off a little tankier than usual. Normally you want to completely just rush. You actually like don't build hardly any like armor items for a very long time. Yeah, so right now I'm saying Panthers alt, be careful, and there it is. I remember that one because that's when I started just getting wrecked because this gives Panth another kill. I don't remember if TF dies, but I think he does. I don't completely remember because I stopped watching. Like once all those people came, I just assumed everyone was okay. So I just kind of stopped watching. It's not like I had TP to follow up. I felt like I didn't have to walk there. And yeah, he gets shut down. Okay, but I believe he's all or all three of their kills. So he's pretty scary. And yeah, then the fight ends up turning around right there. And they end up going, I think, 1-for-1, or technically 2-for-1 because they got the Rammus under tower. So they still end up winning that trade. And I think it was a shutdown on Kate. But again, I'm just gonna shove it into tower, see what I can get. Here I'm thinking like, we might be down a bit, but at least I'm thinking I can get this tower down. I don't think it ends up going down, but first tower goal is always really nice. So here, that's what I'm thinking, like, just shove this tower down, get it down as fast as I can, try to get that first tower. I tried to get the tentacle to hit that. That's why I W'd it so fast, but I always seem to mistime that. But yeah, that tentacle position there is really nice. Yeah, because then you get two tentacles for a while. He ends up getting like half health for that. I'm gonna step back here just in case the tentacle hits him. I don't want to take a free tower shot. And I don't know what that E was. I think I was trying to aim it more diagonally there, and I just ended up clicking over there. But yeah, like I said, I missed almost everything against him. It was pretty ridiculous. Yeah, so he QEs me, and I go to half health. At that point, I'm like, what just happened? So I'm just going back playing it safe. Because, if that's what a QE does, think about if you WQE'd autoed a few times. All my autos get blocked. I think here I'm getting Merc Treads to deal with his W. Yeah. Which is also probably not the correct choice. I think it would have been a lot better if I just would have ended up rushing Black Cleaver, but can't do a whole ton about that. Here I decided to TP. I probably should have TP'd earlier. I didn't look at the cooldown. Maybe it was off cooldown. Here I missed the cannon because I mistimed it again. Just I think I've tilted myself at this point. I believe they get first tower mid from that Aurelia. Oh no, they don't. I'm pretty sure they end up with first tower. I don't think we ended up getting that. Or at least the trade that we caught for it wasn't worth it, something like that. But sorry, we can end up watching. Yeah, Pantheon just ulted in and got more kills, which is always a fun thing for me. And then they dive him there. And this is a very unfortunate thing. He gets that blocked. And then for some reason, I should have flashed. I don't know why I didn't. I should have flashed after Pantheon. And right here, he just like, yeah. And I mute everyone because I don't feel like getting flamed. Because I know I've screwed up. I'm 0-3, and I'm just like, I'm done. I threw my final game to Plat promos. I'm 2-0 at this point, by the way, so it's just like I was gonna lose that one and then just pick it up in the morning or something. But yeah, I was just like, okay, I'm done. Let's just FF in 5 minutes or whatever. There's not much hope to this game. They have a fed Pantheon. They're up in kills. I'm useless. All that nonsense. Yeah, I'm 0-3. They have a 5-1 Pantheon. Everyone else isn't doing awful. Yeah, Panth will fall off, but so we did some good work there. We got a double kill on Rammus, which isn't the best person to get the double kill on, but it's not awful. Right here, I remembered him QEing me for so much, so I'm just trying to stay back, and yeah, he half healths me with another QE, and there's just not tons I can do. Just trying to farm safe under tower. Yeah, so right there, if I didn't end up flashing his W, I would have straight up died. I believe someone's coming to gank me or something. I think an Aurelia pops up, yeah. So I'm just like, I'm out, man. This ain't worth it, and I think top goes down. But yeah, so this is at this point I'm super tilted, and honestly, like I shouldn't be. I have 114 farm at 16 minutes. Not the best, but it's gotten me enough farm to still be relatively useful. So it's not like I'm completely useless. I'm Illaoi. I scale decently well in my opinion, as and like I'm an underfed Illaoi, so they shouldn't be overly scared of me. And I know I'm gonna outskill this Pantheon, so I should be thinking like that rather than thinking like, holy cow, I'm useless, I can't do anything. But that's pretty much my thought process at that time. Um, yeah, so they're a Moo super fed, which doesn't do a whole ton because he's building straight tank, other than him being just a butt to deal with. Yeah, so they're at their blue, so I'm going to help the Rammus, but I think he dies before I can get there. Yeah. They have a pretty melee heavy comp too, which I should have realized, which is another one of their downfalls. So like I believe I was saying in team chat before we got into this game how our comp counters theirs because theirs is such a hard engage. Like they have a Mumu, Leona, Pantheon alt type thing, Aurelia. Like their entire team is like go ham or go home. And Ezreal is just kind of like I don't even need peel. So like their entire team is just jump in and don't even worry. Ezreal should be able to get rid of it. And so I'm an Illaoi. If they all dive us, I can 5-man alt with a tentacle and get six tentacles, and they immediately lose if they go in with it. So I mean, if I just kept all that in mind, I probably wouldn't have been as tilted. And that's honestly how you should be thinking. Like, don't think of the bad. Like, don't think, oh my gosh, we have like a 7-1 Pantheon or whatever he is at this point. That shouldn't be what you think about. It should be like, okay, what can I be doing? What should I be doing? Should I be going straight tank? Should I be doing XYZ? I believe as a Illaoi you should never go like straight tank. But I think I alter my build slightly to like start getting tankier earlier than I normally do. But yeah, we should be thinking like our team comp is theoretically a lot better than theirs. They have a super high snowball comp and they only have 3 kills over us. Granted, all of it is on one of their snowball champs, but that's not gonna matter as that champ has to go in. And we have a Taric to all, stuff like that. So one of the things I try to show everyone is to like keep a positive attitude. It's one of the reasons I'm glad you guys aren't actually watching this game because I am like super negative at this point because like my teams have been raging. I have played way more games than I probably should have, and so I'm kind of tired of it. But I'm just like I want to get plat really bad, and so a lot of my mindset's just really off. But I think like halfway through, I just end up going, you know what, I'm just gonna try it, and it ends up working, as you will see. Um, so yeah, so he did tons of damage just by Q and getting a couple ticks of E on me. So I'm still scared because if he WQEs me, I should pretty much die. If I get an E and an alt off, I might live. And so like anytime I miss my E, I have to definitely go back. He has wards obviously, so I should have pinged Rammus back because he saw that we had wards, but whatever. or I saw that we had wards when I went down there and he placed his ward there, but I had forgotten by that point. Pantheon ended up actually ulting away, which is not what I expected, but he ends up getting more kills. So at this point, I'm just like, let's take tower and leave because it's gone. Yeah, so back to like just general strategies. Pick the three champs. My three champs was Gnar, Illaoi, and Shin, sort of. I kind of swapped between Shin and Nautilus or Scion or just some tanky person. They all kind of like, to me, they all play the same and I know them well enough where they're kind of equal. I'm a better Shin, but for some reason I have a horrible win percentage with them, which you might take to say, well, maybe you're not a better Shin. But no, my Shin playstyle just relies on other people and being in comms with them so that they can tell me when they're in trouble because my map awareness, like I said earlier, isn't the best. So I end up being a really good Shin 5 and a really crappy Shin in solo queue. Like I've had games where I'll go like 6-0 and 2 because like I don't notice that I need to TP soon enough, and so I end up TPing just to clean up the fights and stuff like that, which you end up losing. So yeah, so the next thing is the Jarm's Fist and the big fist item, and that's just so like the goal of Illaoi is to essentially stay alive as long as you can to get as many WQ tentacle things. And you get healing through it. So getting an item like that will give you first off, like, you won't get bursted down, which is her biggest weakness. Like if she ults and then she immediately gets like a Mew Mew Q'd and Pantheon W'd and Leona W ulted, like she's gonna die. But if you have the tanky item, then she can stay alive longer, and she can hopefully survive the initial burst, so she can get a couple W's off and heal up. So that's her playstyle. But anyways, sidetracked again. I was just trying to explain a little bit. So what you want to do is grab your three champs, spam those champs. One thing that people need to realize is if you have played 100 games on a champ, guys. So like if you've played that many games on a champ, you're obviously not very good at that, and you haven't like been moving at all. Okay, then obviously you need to change champs because it's just not working out for you that well. So I'd like to explain what I did there. So I flashed him. So I flashed into the bush first off to get vision, second off because I didn't know if Pantheon was gonna go, and third off because I was gonna dodge his Q, which I actually did think about. Thank you very much. And so I was just trying to make sure I just secured the kill and he wouldn't like get away by like queuing me and then like smiting me and just walking off. Like that would have sucked. So that was what I was trying to do. Um yeah, so there I kind of got my confidence back. I got 2 kills off of it, which kind of brought me back in. I didn't finish anything, but I'm starting to get my core items built and I can start withstanding a lot more damage. So right now I'm trying to kind of group. I got my top tower down. I can't push alone because Pantheon can ult behind me, and he should still be able to 1v1 me for a while. Um, I I have to wait a bit to outscale him. I think it's like I can beat him at like my full 3 items. I think I need cleaver, my little fist item, and then I think I need one armor item, and I should pretty much be able to beat him at most points as long as I get a decent alt with my E. But anyways, back to the whole mindset thing. So your goal should be to basically be consistent. That's one of the biggest things. So if you find a champ, you play 150 games with them, and you have a 40% win rate, or you have a 50% win rate even, probably need to find a new champ. If you want to climb, your win rate should be hovering 60% on your champs. Or you need to get lucky with bursting through. And what I mean by bursting through is like winning a bunch of games in a row. So like that's another thing that you have to realize. Yeah, that was really good. So we ended up getting a bunch from that. I don't know if we kill Pantheon here, but we ended up doing some good work and getting back in the game. But anyway, so if you have like a 50, maybe 55 is kind of okay, but like think about it this way. You're generally climbing above at 51%, but you're going to climb so freaking slow that it's not even going to be worth it. Like you'll probably have to play 1,000 games to get out of a not necessarily a like for bronze, right? So if you're bronze 5 and you have 1,000 and you have a 51% win rate, it'll probably take you around 1,000 games to get out or something ridiculous because you're just gonna go 1 for 1 so many times, and the one time you don't go 1 for 1 is gonna be the time that you finally jump a division. It might be slightly easier in bronze because they give you the 1 win grace period, but my point stands. You should be trying to get champs where you have like a 60% chance win rate. Um, Maybe like high 50s, like pretty high 50s. Right here I'm being nice because I know I'm useless, and I'm pretty much just trying to make sure that the tower doesn't fall because it's at 9 HP. But I need to give it to carries. Anyways, so you want to find a champion that does that. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I need to stay in meta, I need to do stuff. Like, don't play a dumb champ somewhere if you're not good enough to do it. But if you know, if you can play, if you're just like a godlike Teemo, right? Even though everyone hates Teemo, if you can keep a 60% win rate top with Teemo or something, just do it. Who cares? Like you have a 60% win rate, you're gonna start climbing off of that no matter what people say. Like if you're a great Urgot top, just do it. If you can keep your win rate up, who cares? Like unless you're straight up getting carried every single game and you're actually not contributing, or like you're duoing or something, you're just getting carried. Like there's a difference to that, but as long as you're being useful, yeah. And maybe you're being useful in a way you don't realize. Like you have to realize, like splitting, you could go 0 and 5, but split to their Nexus Tower type thing, and so you're super useful because of that. Anyways, so right now we're fighting. I'm thinking about trying to get the best ult that off that I can. So I end up only hitting it with a couple people, but it still ends up doing a good amount of work because I'm Illaoi. So right there, I'm just like, holy cow, we can do work, man. Because I think I got a triple off of that. Spam my mastery emote. But yeah, so find your champions. Grab 3 champions that you have above 60% win rate, or maybe the lower one is someone that's a lot situational. So this one was, yeah, so I canceled a bunch of things and we could have, that could have gone a lot better if I didn't screw up facing Illaoi or facing Aurelia. So that was definitely my fault there. I got way too cocky after I triple killed him and I was like, ah, let's go, man. But yeah, so now I'm going for, I think, a Dead Man's Plate, which is a good second item, especially because a lot of their fed people are all AD. I think they are the all AD team because they have an Aurelia mid. Like, Amumi doesn't really count. I think Leona has some AP scalings. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, so that was Turret got caught in the jungle trying to make sure they didn't do Baron, but essentially we didn't do awful because they were so far ahead. Like it might not, like kills wise, it might not seem like they're super far ahead, but like look at the tower disparity. Yeah, they have 1 tower above us. I thought it was a lot more. For some reason, I thought bot tower was gone too, so maybe not. My bad. But yeah. So essentially, just find champs that you're good at. Maybe you think you're a top main, but you're really supposed to be playing jungle. I know I've swapped around roles multiple times. I started as a mid main. I went to a jungle main, and that's how I got gold. And then we realized that like once they switched to season 6, I wasn't as good of a jungle main because they took out Devourer. And so a lot of times I would just cheese the solo queue stuff, which doesn't work high elo and definitely doesn't work in 5v5s. So once I joined the team and whatnot, I had to end up changing that. So I TP there because they're fighting. I'm gonna flash in, I think, and I'm gonna cancel my ulti animation, or not cancel it, but I'm gonna jump in with my ulti flash animation, which I just think is a cool thing to do. Yeah, so to do that, you start your R. So it's kind of like the Lee Sin thing. You start R'ing, and then you flash in the middle of your animation, which is the same thing that Lee Sin does when he flat. He like starts his R animation on you, and then he flashes like to the correct side of you. It's pretty cool. But yeah, it's kind of similar to that. You start your arc animation, and then you just kind of flash away. I think here he kills him pretty easily, yeah, because it's Rammus versus an AD person. And this is when we start really turning it around. We don't get as far behind as it seemed like. And this is kind of what I was like, our team isn't like super far behind. I think I kill him in this. Yeah. So I end up getting him because that. So if you saw the fist item thing, it gave me so much HP, like probably like half worth of HP. Like it was pretty broken, and then I could heal through it, and we ended up getting him pretty easily. So here I'm trying to like normally you'd build Spirit Visage next, and I'm just like, okay, what do I want to build instead of Spirit Visage? Do we want to shove down towers? Do we want to? And I'm just trying to figure out what do I kind of want to build, because I don't really need AP or MR. But anyways, so back to the whole thinking thing. So the next one of the biggest things I see between divisions is like, so you're either going to be, so to get out of bronze, you need to be good mechanically, or you need to have good decision making. One of the two generally will get you out of bronze. Silver, you need to kind of bring up the other one or become super, super good at one of them, like become extremely good mechanically and have okay-ish decision making, that type of thing. To get to gold, you normally have to have a good balance of both. And then plat, diamond, etc., etc. We'll just keep refining all of that. I think diamond is when like you're normally perfect mechanically, and it's just like decision making from then on. Maybe higher plat too. It's normally just a lot of like decision making, which could go with uh, what's it called? Decision making could go with mechanics. Okay, so here we catch the Ezreal. So we're like, okay, we definitely need to fight, but I'm stuck on this top side and I can't reach them in time. Pantheon can and all of a sudden we all just got wrecked. And so at this point I'm just like, okay, we're 2v4 because we caught the Ezreal. And then I'm like, oh baby, ult them all. And that happens because I'm Illaoi. And then she steps on a trap in perfect quadra. I'd like to point out she didn't give that to me. She actually did step on a trap. But yeah, so I sort of 1v4'd them there because, like I said, I countered their team comp really well. And so once they all kind of clumped up, I E'd and then I got 5 tentacles and just bam, all of them died. But yeah, so I got a kind of 1v2v4'd them. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. And then at that point, the game was just kind of like, stay away from Illaoi, look what she just did, and we can kind of snowball from there. But yeah, like at the beginning of the game, I was like, there was a 7-1 Pantheon, but he fell off. It didn't matter. It's kind of like a lot of games you'll see, like there's this Lee Sin that's like 12-1, and then everyone's just like, guys, just FF, it's over. But it's a Lee Sin that's 12-1. Like, there's only so much that they can do, and there's only so much that Pantheon can do once his WQE is used. He just gets bursted from there, and it's not like sustain. He's not an AD carry. He's not a mid laner that can kind of sit back and roll out. But yeah. So I think I end up grabbing ZZ Route. I might grab GA. Is one of the two. Yeah, so I grab ZZ Route so we can push stuff and so I can be present for team fights. The GA should be my next item. I think that's what I end up getting, so that I can live through everything and still be up there. I don't know if I get that far, but yeah. So the ZZ route will help us. I think Ramus got one as well, so we stack them a lot. So we'll have like 2 ZZ routes in a lane, and it'll basically just auto push. And so they either have to give up an objective, or they have to send someone to do their lane. And at this point, if they send someone to do their lane, they're probably gonna die. So at this point, I still have my ult, so I know that they can't really do a whole ton. And we have a Ramus, so this person ends up just like trying to get one kill and it doesn't work out too well. And so I end up going from like 3 and 4 to 10 and 5, just by being smart, making sure my rotations were on point. I even didn't do perfect placement at all points, but I still ended up just playing smart enough. I'm not sure why this Amumi was doing that, and why he's still coming at me. So he ends up dying for that. But yeah, I think I end up flashing for him? Yeah, I didn't even need to. He was gonna die. But yeah, so it just ends up we outplay them, even though mechanically I got dominated top lane, made good decisions, and ended up just steamrolling them. I think there's still a little bit left to this, but the game's pretty much donezo at this point, unless we really screw up or they just pull and wonderful play. Yeah, so moral of the story, don't get disheartened at first. But yeah, so once you have your couple guys for your land, then you just kind of gotta start paying attention, which I know sounds weird, but there's a lot of things that's just like, okay, I died, right? why did I die? What did I do wrong? Could I have done something better? Like, did I have enough information? Did I have a ward I could have placed out? Like, you need to start doing that stuff constantly. One of my biggest jumps was when I started like, why did this happen? And so like a lot of times it would be people pointing it out because I was on the five team, so they'd be like, dude, why'd you do that? And I was like, what? They'd be like, dude, that was a dumb decision. You did X, Y, Z, and you should have just stayed in your lane. So a lot of the things, especially for top lane, is like, and I guess mid lane is when should you TP or for mid lane roam, and when should you just stay and shove your tower. And a lot of times you should definitely follow up, especially as like um a top laner that has something that can interrupt. So this one, basically they just all got caught, but there's not a whole ton you can do about this. So my goal is to just try to do as much damage as I possibly can. I think I end up, yeah, so they have just a crap ton of CC, and there's just not a whole ton I can do when my whole team gets caught. And so that's kind of what I was saying, like, this game's over unless we screw up, like that. So there's your little screw up. So now the game's back to not even, but it's pretty even. I believe, yeah, we're up in towers. Yeah, we're up, I think, by one tower. So we're not even up that much by towers. I believe they get this free Baron, so it ends up evening out again. So now we're back to square one. Who's gonna win the game? I sort of already ruined it like 4 times for you guys, and I apologize. But if you guys pay attention to anything I post, I pretty much only post my wins unless there's just something outstanding. So here we're all just like, Kate, what are you doing? You can't beat an Aurelia. And then she does, which is pretty dope. And so I give props to that Kate for outplaying her. Especially because I think the Kate was like 6 and 10 at the point. It was pretty cool though. But yeah, so at this point, I got my full build. Didn't have to build my MR item. I might have built it anyways. Like, Spirit Visage is not a bad item. It might have been smart to change it for ZZ but I figured the pushing power at this point was like way too strong to pass up. Because now I can, yeah, so the goal right now is to ZZ bot lane. And then I have TP up, so we can. I think we double ZZ bot. I think I asked Ramus to double ZZ bot, and so the idea here would be them to shove a lane like mid, and we double ZZ bot, so it just hard shoves in. And then on top of that, I could even go top, but I think I'm just gonna. I think I end up just pushing with ZZ, and so I just have them defend mid. We shove hard with ZZ, and then they have to send a person. And I think even at this point, unless the person they send is Pantheon, we should be able to beat it pretty easily. So yeah, so we have two ZZ running at them. They're trying to siege mid, but they're quickly realizing that yes, they have to send someone to me. But it's an Aurelia who's melee, so she can't do a whole ton against me shoving top. Yeah, especially because she does not have Baron. So of all the people, they probably should have sent someone top with Baron. At this point, it's going against them as well. They lost the 4v4 mid lane, so now I know I can pretty much stay if I want to. At this point, Aurelia's really going hard, so I just alter, keep her away. Then I just start doing damage on her clone. It gets her pretty low. Yeah, look at that, 21, 20, 20, 250 it ends up doing to her, which is just an inordinate amount of damage. And then I just go to my little clone thing and end up knocking him out of lane too. Uh, I have to back off because my teammates ended up peeling off to drag instead of shoving mid, but it could go either way. It just kind of depends how long do you think the game's gonna go, like, and stuff like that. But it ends up not being bad at all. I thought for sure she was gonna try to get me on that, but she was just going after the tentacle that she could see through fog. So getting Elder Drag's good because I think we had 3-1s, he said. They're not too happy with it. I don't think it's necessarily a bad call as long as we all group up after it. I have TP again, so right now I probably should be shoving bot, but no one's up, so I'm just pushing out mid real fast. Yeah, that drag really helps against taking these Baron up minions too, which is nice. So the goal right now is we really want to fight because we have the Elder Drag. So we catch out this Pantheon, and I believe he ends up dying, or yeah. So right there, I actually misplayed slightly. I should have Ard there, flashed over, and I believe I would have gotten more people by doing it that way. But yeah, so right here we end up beating him pretty easily with Elder Jagger. I mean, I do. But yeah, then he ends up dying because he has too much stuff going on, and we have a Caitlyn, and so we pretty much end up winning this. It should, I believe we end here. Yeah, so I stay and kill the mummy because she just art him, and all I have to do is make him run towards, yeah, make him run towards Caitlyn. But yeah, so I guess theoretically I could have talked about that game more, but I played so bad, there's not a whole ton you can learn from me other than just make sure you have smart times to team up. But yeah, so this did, yeah, so Elder Dragon was definitely a pretty good call because it made us win that fight really hard. But yeah, so there's that. Here's the proof that I'm plat. The last game I played was actually this one as well, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, has a little Illaoi because that's the last one. So my Gnar win rate actually sucks. I didn't realize that. So I probably shouldn't have Gnar in my rotation anymore. But so my Nautilus 5-2 can't really take that win rate, but oh, is this just in the okay, there we go. Past 25 days. That's why. Never mind. I wonder if there's a way to like see past forever. I can look that up later, I think. But yeah, so there's my team. But anyways, so yeah, there's the game 13-6-10. I think it went pretty well. Could have done better on farm, but you know, did pretty well. There I am at plat. My yeah, so my score's a little lower just because I haven't played any more games to like bump it up. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I'm gonna go to what is it? op.gg for my guy. See what that says. But yeah, so I don't even yeah, my win rate is like 50%. Theoretically, I shouldn't be climbing right now, but I get lucky. And so like I'll go 1 for a while and then all of a sudden I'll go on my like look at this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like a 6 win rate and just jump into the next division. And then I'll slowly climb again and then I'll go on like an insane win rate or a lot in gold because you still got the 1 free win. I just like lose them real fast and then jump in, win 1 out of 2 and be fine. But yeah, so here you can see my champions. And so if we go by, oops, no, stop. So my Shin ends up being low 50s. So I stopped playing him to start climbing. I ended up playing a decent amount of Echo, Gnar, a ton of Illaoi, which doesn't seem like a ton, but like considering when I picked her up and whatnot, I needed to stop playing Gangplank a lot sooner. But yeah, so like my Scion win rate, 11 wins to 3, pretty crazy. Nautilus, Scion, Illaoi, Echo, and I liked Gnar. But yeah, so those ended up being my main champs to get me in there. I had a couple for jungle. But yeah, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer. I might throw, so I have a couple of people interested in having me kind of look at their top lane plays and kind of try to get them into the correct mindset to actually getting up into it or like actually start climbing and stuff like that. So hopefully I can post some of those videos so you can see maybe taking someone from a bronze 3 level and seeing like through coaching and stuff like that if I can start getting them to climb pretty consistently. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see. I know that video was a lot different than what I normally do, but I thought you guys might be interested a little bit in what I actually did to get for my last game into plat and kind of update of what I was doing. Um, let me know what you guys like to see. If I don't hear anything from you guys, my goal for my next stop is I'm either gonna bring another Smurf and then start an unranked to diamond or diamond. Can't get to diamond and unranked to gold to kind of show how that kind of goes. Or I can try to take one of my gold accounts and get it pretty much as high as I can. I don't think I'll hit plat, but I can get pretty close to it and show you guys basically just some gold level gameplay to try to get back to plat or try to get up to plat again. But yeah, thanks for watching again, guys.